even after 8 years in the league. Yet up until last season, he'd been one of the more durable players in the league. Kind of like Reggie Miller in that regard.
On the court right now for the Pacers. Hill and Miles team up in the backcourt. Allen is out there with Hill. And it's George in at the 3 slot. Here's Grant. Paul George making his last shot. Durant dishes to O'Neal. The basket good off the assist from Durant. O'Neal's got his first bucket of the night. Talking about Durant's physical makeup, some scouts were actually worried about his athleticism when he declared for the draft after just 1 year at Texas. At the NBA Combine, Greg, you were talking about this. He posted some of the worst numbers of all the top prospects.
Yeah, he did, but I tell you what, he did blow people away with his length. 6'10", with a 7'5" arm span. I mean, that makes up for a whole lot in this league. And as we've seen throughout his Hall of Fame career, I think it's worked out pretty nice.
I think it has too. Here is Durant. Paul George making his last shot. Durant kicks to Grant. There's the 3. Misses that one. He's made 1 and missed 2 this game so far. George passes to Hill. Miles dishes to Allen. Indiana moving it around. And it's George finishing it off.
Fantastic dunk, and he decided to hang around up there for a while, Kevin.
Well, maybe, he didn't want to land awkwardly. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, guys, come on. He's up there
move.
posing. He's posing for the photographers. That's all that's about.
It's stolen by Hill. Stolen by O'Neal. Here's Garnett. Can't get it to go. George with the defensive effort. Indiana leading. And Miles kicks to Allen on the wing. Hill. Allen with it. Now defended by Grant. To the paint. Here's Hill. And Durant sends it back. Outside Anthony. Grant gets a wide open look. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. 6 points for Easy Breezy.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
Hill passes to George. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. George has got 8.
A perfect 4 for 4 for him to start this game out.
Yeah, he's looking good. He's got a nice bounce in his step to start.
Kept alive. O'Neal dishes to Grant. It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. Pass to Shaq. Back to Anthony. And here's Garnett. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's Durant. Offensive rebound. O'Neal. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound are a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength, just like that.
Yeah, he's an invaluable asset for them to have. No question about it.
Here's George after the basket by Washington. Shot clock at 6. And Shaq pulls it down.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
And the jam by Kevin Durant.
What a beautiful pass to set that one up.
The pass might have been pretty, but the finish, I thought, Clark, angry.
That's a heck of a combination. Pretty pass and an angry punch.
And that's what makes the alley-oop such a terrific play when you're able to execute.
And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That is his first foul of the game. Nash is checked in for Washington. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Mahimi's checked in for Hill. Turner comes in for Lavoy Allen. Allen with it. Now defended by Grant. Grant with the assist. 7 points for Easy Breezy. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That is his first foul of the game. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Mahimi's checked in for Hill. Turner comes in for Lavoy Allen. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for C.J. Miles. And it's Ellis in for George Hill.
Wow, risky shot there size-wise, but the incredible skill that he possesses allows that one to go.
Well, the quick high release negated any height disadvantage he had right there.
For three, Durant, and the shot is good. Durant's got 7 points. Pacers trail by 5.
You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense. Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
They better not. I mean, they've got to pad their lead anytime an opportunity presents itself, and that was a golden one.
And so here is Indiana after the basket by Washington. It's Ellis on the wing, defended by Nash. Knocked away and stolen by Nash. And now the fast break. Nash with the ball. But they'll get another chance. Grant kicks to O'Neal. It's stolen by Mahinmi. They get a hand on it. And now Durant running the floor, galloping all by himself. Good.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
As for those dry spells you mentioned about the Pacers, G8, they had a number of long losing streaks last season.
Yeah, as a team, they had 4 different losing streaks of 6 or more games, and they got hot at the end. Season-high win streak of 6 to stay playoff relevant. It was just too little, too late compared to their losing streaks earlier in the year. Already seizing control of this game.
Total control, Greg, and as well as they're playing at both ends, I look for this lead to get even larger.
It's blocked by Shaq. And so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here. Ellis left side. Shoots over Shaq. And some nice defense there to end the quarter. And Kevin Durant, always in the gym, always working to improve. We asked him where that
comes from me being 8 years old and me just saying I want to be the best player. You know, first off, at 8 years old, you want to be the best player in your neighborhood, and that's where it comes from. Just always want to be the best, and no matter where I'm playing at.
Year-by-year improvements until he became the best player in the league and won an MVP. Now, the challenge, Greg, is to get back to that level after the injuries. Obviously, I think we all feel it is possible for him.
And you're absolutely right, Kevin. I mean, he's definitely proven in terms of the talent, the skill, and athleticism. What we find out now after dealing with the adversity is, does he have the heart and drive and that competitive spirit to be considered still among the very best?
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for Washington.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court for Indiana, Hill and Stuckey are the guard set. Allen is out there with C.J. Miles, and it's Mahinmi in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for C.J. Miles, he sure can string together a long line of threes under the league with a nice jump shot that has now become deadly.
Yeah, he doesn't get to the free throw line much, and he's not really much of a playmaker, but he's 3D in color. HD 3D.
Hill passes to Mahinmi. Uses both hands to slam it down.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, you know, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
Anthony nowhere around. Bangs home the trifecta. Anthony's got himself on the board with 3 there.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Hard to believe this, but Carmelo feels as if he's been underrated as a superstar to this point in his career. And I'm sure there are a lot of conflicting opinions on that topic.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. For Carmelo, the numbers are there for him to be treated as a Tier 1 star still, I think, Clark, but it's hard to call him underrated.
Yeah, I think he'll be underrated until he's able to get to the championship round or maybe even win a ring. There's one thing that's clear, though. He's been under a lot of pressure since he's come into the league, and he hasn't been underrated in that regard.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
I was able to listen in on what Frank Vogel had to say to his team. He said their plan was run their offense through Allen. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. He also wants to see a patient offense, work for the shot, move the ball around, and as he told them, quote, if you don't see a good shot, find someone who does. Being in the position they're in, probably a smart move to go to the clipboard and switch things up while we're still in the first half. Kevin?
And thank you for that, Doris. Hill with it. And it's Harden picking him up. Hill dishes to Stuckey. And Ray Allen gets the whistle that time.
That's his first personal foul.
Stolen by Harden.
And thought that pass was going to get through, but no. All of a sudden, he was going the other way with the basketball.
Hill kicks to Stuckey. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Clock at 6. Hill passes to Hill. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
And the D does just enough to throw off his rhythm on that shot.
Here's Wade. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
Here's Hill to stop the run, and the shot is good. Hill's got his second bucket of the night. Here's Wade. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Here's Garnett. That falls. Nice speed that time from Dwayne Wade. And Washington leads by 16. The Pacers have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Deep 2 from Hill. Washington with the rebound. Yao with it. Allen dishes to Harden. And again, Washington with the triple.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
Hill against Harden. And it's Hill penetrating. Yao with the block. But they get it back. Pacers trail by 19. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
And he gets it to go. Washington's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Now the Pacers moving it up. Here's Stuckey, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Block shots, a stat that sometimes doesn't tell the whole story. Big-time shot blockers aren't always elite defenders. And then the opposite is true. Their block shot totals don't quite capture that great impact they really have defensively.
You know, and Hakeem the Dream, certainly one of the greatest all-around players to have ever played the game. An endless array of offensive moves down low, no doubt. And defensively, his numbers speak for themselves. I mean, almost 4,000 career blocks, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, just a legendary low-post defender.
Puts it up from 15. Hits the front of the rim and out.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Tell you what, Monte Ellis is one of the best second